Warning. The following podcast contains adult themes, sexual content, and strong language. It is not intended for audiences under the age of 18. If you are under the age of 18, get the fuck out.
Alright, hello, lovely individuals. It's Spades, back with the Rocks Off podcast. So, I have been gone quite a bit, almost a year. Basically what had happened was both RC and CJ moved, farther than anyone was willing to drive. So, I was on my own, and I was trying to think of ways to do the podcast alone. And I kind of got stuck. But we're back. We'll see how this solo episode goes. And today I just had a little tier list planned. We're going to be doing Kinks and Fetishes tier list. Now, I tried to get a list from public reception on what kinks and fetishes I should include, but I couldn't find anyone to answer. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be reading categories off of Pornhub. So, I guess we should maybe get started, because there are a lot of categories. Now, for some of these, I am going to either skip them because it's like 60 FPS. I don't know who's actively looking for porn in a specific frames per second, but if that is your kink, go ahead. The second, what's the word I'm looking for? Caveat that we're going to put on this episode is that these are all just my opinion. I'm not kink shaming anyone. These are just where I think that they fall on my personal list. If you disagree, feel free to share in the comments and tell me where you think certain things fall. This is an open discussion. I'm not the end-all be-all of your porn experience. So yeah, let's get into it. So immediately starting off with amateur. Amateur, it's a classic. Everyone knows it. But how many people do I think actually have a fetish for amateur porn? Because to me, whenever I go to watch amateur porn, it's less about the fetish aspect of it and more about the quality of video. It's very raw, it feels like I'm watching something that somebody made because they wanted to, not because they were being paid to, if that makes sense. So, in terms of a kink or a fetish, I'm going to put it in D tier, simply because I don't think that's a fetish most people have, or a kink. So, also, this is applying to porn specifically, not so much what you actively do in sex with your partners. This is what you enjoy watching, what you're gooning to on your Saturday evenings. So yeah. Anal, solid C tier, middle of the road. I feel like anal is very vanilla in terms of porn kinks and fetishes. It's just, yeah, sometimes you wanna watch somebody be fucked in the ass. Also, I should also preface that these are all straight categories. I'm not including gay ones. If this does well, I will do an episode on gay categories, which might get there might be some overlap, or there might be some very out there ones that were not included in this one. So let me know what you think of this one, and we will look into doing a gay category or something similar. Now, the next few I'm seeing are based on races or ethnicities, so I'm just going to kind of include those together. Racial or ethnic categories. C tier, I suppose, because on the one hand, racial fetishization is a thing that's weird and gross, but on the other hand, it's like, sometimes you want to see somebody who looks like you. So you'll go to a black category, you'll go to an Asian category, you'll go to a Latino category, because you want to see people who look like you on screen. So it's not bad. I think there is a need for that category. I just think that there is a slippery slope there into race play, which is a conversation for another day. Babe, what does that mean? I'm skipping that one. Babysitter. Babysitter is a rather interesting category. I think it leans a little into what's it called? Either findom or a little bit of cuckolding, because a lot of times or not cuckolding, it's more exhibition voyeurism, because there is that aspect of, ooh, we're gonna get caught by my wife, but also he's paying her to be the babysitter, or she's paying him to be the babysitter, and we're gonna get caught by her husband. But it kind of straddles those two categories, so it's a little bit of a nuance there. Also, it does appeal to a what's the word I'm looking for? Young, I don't know the word I'm looking for, because it's not like Lolita, because Lolita is a conversation for another day. But it's not so much, all the words I'm thinking of are like the problematic terms in porn, but it does appeal to that younger side of women, smaller bodies, petite bodies, that kind of stuff. So it is a very nuanced category, surprisingly. So I'm going to put it in a B tier. Low B, but a B tier. BBW, which, if you don't know what that is big-bodied woman. I'm going to say a B tier because body inclusivity. Always love that. Behind the scenes. Behind the scenes is so interesting because it's not so much a kink or a fetish as much as it is an odd interest. So D tier, but I do want to do a video on behind the scenes at some point. Big ass, vanilla, boring, we're putting it in C tier. Big dick, same thing, C tier. Big tits, even more of the same thing, C tier. Bisexual male, interesting category. It just based on numbers that I'm looking at here, because if you've ever been on Pornhub, you know that all the categories have the name of the category and then the number of videos in that category. And while I'm seeing videos like big ass or big dick have 200,000 videos, 1,000 or 175,000 videos, bisexual male only has 2,479 at current. So in terms of my personal opinion on that interest, fetish, kink, I'll put it in a low B tier, because I think that there does need to be more representation there. Also, it's just a great category. If you've never watched bisexual male porn, go do it. Check it out. Blonde. If you watch blonde, if your kink is blonde porn, F tier. No, stop talking. Same thing with blowjob. If your kink is something like blowjob, there's definitely, like, you can be interested in blowjobs, and a lot of people do have a affinity for blowjobs. But I think that it's so common a category that it's not so much even a kink anymore. You would have to be like really, really, really into blowjobs in order for that to be considered a kink or anything like that. So we're going to do a D tier there. Bondage is a great one. A tier. I'll put bondage in A tier because it is a little bit niche. It is a little bit, but it's still common enough to where it's like, okay, I see where we're sitting. I see where we're going. Bukkake. Again, another lovely, slightly nicher genre where I'm going to say a high B tier. If you don't know what bukkake is, it is the porn category where a woman or person in general is overwhelmed with cum from usually several male performers. I have seen female bukkake where it's women squirting on men. There's that. But yeah, it's the covering in cum, and usually it's on the face. But I have seen body and stuff, so there's that. Cartoon, kind of. I'm going to do cartoon, hentai, anime, all in the same category, because I promise you there's going to be a hentai category. So those are going to be put in the same category, and I'm going to put it at a B tier, because I think there's too much shame surrounding that category. I think that it's a fine category. Like, I don't understand why so many people are like, oh, you watch hentai. Okay, and what about it? I just think that there's too much shame there. I think we should be more accepting of people who watch cartoon or hentai porn. Casting is a interesting phenomenon where you're breaking the fantasy of what it is to watch porn. So actually, because it is a meta kink fetish interest, I'm going to put it in A tier. Also, so I don't have to keep saying kink fetish interest, I'm just going to say KFI. Celebrity, I think, on the one hand, if celebrities do decide to do porn, I am fully in favor of that. Explore your own sexuality in your own way, with your consenting partners. But a lot of times, celebrity, it leans into the leaks, leaked sex tapes, leaked nudes, where the consent there is dubious, and I'm not sure I agree with that. So we're going to put it in a low B tier. College. Surprisingly, I haven't seen a lot of college videos, which there are 3,000 of them, so I thought I would have seen one already, which, like, I guess college can get into, like, the same category as, like, school education setting. So I'll say that is a high B, because I know that a lot of people had their sexual awakening in school, and you had a lot of fantasies about getting with classmates, teachers, etc. So I think that appeals to that side of things. So yeah, there's that. Compilation. Very in favor of that. Perfect viewing material. I'm going to say S tier for compilations, because you just get what you want. There's not a lot of the fluff. It's exactly what you want. Now, if you're someone like me who enjoys the acting part of it, who wants a good storyline, there was one video that I showed RC. I need to see if I can find it so I can link it down below, where the acting there is just so... that's the kind of acting I want to see. It was these, like, two people at a wedding, and they had gone off into their own little into a room, and then this girl walks in from the other side of the wedding, and she's like, I am so tired, blah blah blah, and they're like talking, and then they get to sex, and just the talking and the foreplay is exactly what I want to see in porn. So I'll see if I can find the video. But yes, if you're someone like me, then that might not be the best category. But also, there are some times where I'm like, I just want to get to the good stuff. I don't want to do all the, like, talking and foreplay, and just gets the good stuff. Compilation is a great category. Cosplay, another great category. It takes the fantasy of cartoon and hentai and puts it into a realistic setting. So I think that cosplay is a great category. We're going to put it in S tier. Cream pie. Cream pie breeding, I would say, while it's fairly common, I think that it is a valid kink fetish interest. Did it again. Don't know why I keep doing that. So yeah, I mean, breeding is more of the fetish than cream pie is. Cream pie is kind of just like the visual category, but the breeding fetish, I think, is a good one. We're going to put that in C tier. We're gonna put it in a high C, low B tier. We're kind of straddling that that line. Cuckold, we've had a video on this. If you haven't watched it, go watch that. I think that cuckold is an interesting category. I think that there's a lot of good stuff to be found in cuckold porn. High B tier. Double penetration. I personally enjoy double penetration. I like seeing that kind of category, so I'm going to put it in A tier. If you don't like double penetration, that's okay. I know RC doesn't like double penetration. So there's that on that. For me, feet is a big KFI. People do love feet, and it is becoming more normalized, which I am very happy about. Feet, we're gonna put you in S tier. Classic kink. Classic foot fetish. Loved that. Fetish category. Now I understand what they mean by fetish. They mean leather, lace, that kind of stuff. Kind of BDSM without saying BDSM. But I think that the title fetish is just way too broad. Let's get into the nitty gritty. We're putting fetish in D tier. Fingering. Now, fingering and fisting are sister categories. I'm gonna put that out right now. Sister categories, because fingering is fisting light. You may not want to see it, but I'm telling you, that's what it is. It is fisting light, and I think that fingering goes in B tier and fisting goes in C tier. Why? Because people can tolerate fingering more. It is a more common occurrence than fisting. But if you're into fisting, you are into fisting. So I think that fisting has its strong base audience, and fingering is just more people need to look into the transition between fingering and fisting, because it is a line that is crossed a lot of times without people knowing. Funny is based on comedy. I think we need more funny porn videos. There are only 771. Let's get into comedy, guys. Nerds of Porn does great in getting into that comedic space a little bit in terms of their writing. I want to see more comedy in porn. I know y'all are funny, so make some comedy porn. But funny is going in D tier just because there's not a lot of it. Gangbang, the next step up from double penetration, which we had discussed earlier. A step before bukkake. We're making circles. Gangbang, we're going to do a B tier. Lots of people are into gangbangs. I'm here for it. Handjob is honestly kind of the male equivalent to fingering, but it does not go into fisting, because you can still finger a guy. You can still finger an asshole. But with handjob, it's when I'm calling it out. When you're watching a handjob, you're watching for the dick. You are, and I'm saying it. You might not like it, but I'm saying it. Handjob, solid C tier. What else we got? Masturbation or solo categories. Now, I love a good solo video. A lot of the best porn is solo. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Solo porn is the backbone of the porn industry. So, masturbation, we're giving you an S tier. MILF and mature. If you don't know, MILF stands for Mom I'd Like to Fuck. And mature is any woman that is not the youthful, spry spring chicken that we always see in porn. I do love these categories. They hold a soft spot in my heart. They're going in A tier. Muscular men. Now that this category for the girls, the gays, and the theys. Muscular men. 13,000 videos. You can't argue with that. We're going with a B tier. Music might come as a shock to you, but I've never actually seen music porn. I'm clicking the link, and we're gonna see. Interesting. I'm not seeing a lot of music-centric thumbnails or titles, but I think this is for people who enjoy the background music, who want a soundtrack to their porn, which, if that's you, I'm here for it. We're going to give you a C tier just because I've never heard of it. I want to look more into it. We're going to look more into it. Young and old, or intergenerational. While I do think that there is promise there, we just talked about mature and MILF. It does lean into a little creepy, because this is generally older men with younger women. And whenever you look at porn, women have a stricter standard of appearance than men do. Men, you can see men all the way up to their 50s who just look like normal men, but women, if you look a day over 20, you can't do anything until your mature level, air quotes, where it's you're 50, 60 and you look that age. So I don't know. I'm young and old. We're doing D tier just because of the slippery slope there. Where is my puff bar? I have lost my puff bar. Right now I am smacking on the Dragon Melon Geek Bar. Well, I would be if I had it. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. Found it. But yes, that is what we're hitting today. Tell me what your vape flavors are in the comments. I'd love to hear. Anyway, moving on. Orgy. Orgy is the step up from gangbang. Orgies okay, let's define some things. So you have normal. I'm gonna go off on a tangent. You have normal sex, which is two people. No, sorry, we're starting at solo. Solo is one person. Masturbating, you know. Then you have two people, normal sex. Then you have a threesome, which is three people, either all men, all women, male, male, female, or female, female, male. That is a threesome. A foursome, exactly what it sounds like, 4 people. Once you get into 5 people, I'm going to argue that it is a gangbang, regardless of whether there is penetration or not. Even if there is no penetration, that's still like a jerk circle. So that is 5. Once 5 to 8. 5 to 8 people, we're still in gangbang circle jerk territory. Past 8 people, that is an orgy. If you don't have 8 people in the video, do not call it an orgy. That's where I'm drawing the line. Orgy, we're giving it a D tier, not because I don't like the category, but because people don't know the definitions. I need to have stricter definitions on these videos. Parody. Parody, my love. Great category, love it. Sister category to cosplay, in a different way. This is more about the production aspect of it. Writing, scene work. As a filmmaker, as a cinematographer, as a film lover, I do love parody porn. Shout out to Nerds of Porn. If y'all have not seen Nerds of Porn, please go check it out with my man Adam Christopher. Great studio, love it. We're giving parody S tier. Pissing in water sports, a category that a lot of people are skeptical of, but it is more popular than you would think, with 18,000 videos. A lot of people don't want to admit that they're into pissing, but sex isn't clean. Sex is messy. Sex is gross. So is porn. So be honest with yourself. And if you're into pissing, be into pissing. We're gonna give pissing a B tier. Public. Now, exhibition and voyeurism is a very big kink. We're giving this a C tier because, while I also have an affinity for public displays of sex, you do have to be aware of your surroundings, and you do have to have the consent of everyone involved, even if they are just watching. If you've never heard of Folsom, that is a big parade in, or not parade, it's an event, where people just have sex on the streets, on Folsom Street. Yeah, love it. Check it out. Pussy licking. Same as blowjob, D tier. Get out of here. Role play, which is where we get into the career work. Third category, because I'm sister categories. We're doing role play, we're doing cosplay, and we're doing parody. Those three, you're playing a role. You're getting into a character, and I enjoy that. I do enjoy that. So we're giving it an A tier. School, which we discussed earlier with college, don't know what the difference is. I don't know. But same category as college. Safe for work. Oh, safe for work. Safe for work categories. Now, whenever you go onto Pornhub, you're looking for the goodies. You're looking for the good stuff. But safe for work, it's a little tantalizing. Yeah. If you've never watched a safe for work porn video, I recommend it. If you're getting into a gooning session, or if you're getting into a jacking off session where you're going to be there for a while, you know what you want to do. This is a night to yourself. Start with safe for work. Get into the space without actually watching anything. So yeah, we're going to do C tier. Small tits. Small tits. Don't know if RC ever talked about it on the podcast, but if you didn't, sorry, I'm about to air your business. RC loves some small tits. What's the... Oh god, what is it? Oh, there's a saying we have. I can't think of it. Oh my god, he's gonna be so mad at me. I can't think of the... I'm gonna find out, and I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna let y'all know. But, I remember it. There's nothing like the nippy of an itty bitty titty. Sorry. What was I talking about? Small tits. Great category. Do love it. We're putting it in an A tier. Smoking. Do people have a smoking fetish? Is that a thing? I know that Katya has talked about it on The Bald and Beautiful, where men will come and watch you smoke and strip, and I don't know if that's... If it is, I need the smoking lovers. What do you call yourself if you're a smoking fetishist? I'm a smoky. If you have a smoking fetish, I need y'all to be more vocal, honestly. Step fantasy. Now we all know the memes of step bro, step sis. Honestly, I feel like step fantasy, it's mid. First of all, it's mid. And I'm gonna give it a C tier, because it's a joke at this point. There's no, oh no, we have reached the end of our categories, and I'm only 30 minutes in. So yeah, I guess that was my tier list. We're doing a 30-minute video today. Thought it was gonna be longer. I was wrong. So there you have it. That is my tier list. Drop what your favorite porn categories are in the comments, what your KFIs are. If you have one that you want me to put on the tier list, let me know. You can reach out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all the places. Just let me know. And in case you have forgotten, in the year that I've been gone, we have a Patreon. Subscribe to that bitch. $5 a month. It's a lot better than a lot of the OnlyFans that people are posting, where you have to pay $20, $25, $30 a month for their content. So, and then they have what is it? The paywalls. You have the pay-per-view on, and you don't got to do that on Patreon. Just pay the $5 a month and you get full access to our library of everything. And be on the lookout, because I am going to have more people on. I'm going to be reaching out to more guests, so I don't have to be doing this on my own, because I do not like doing this on my own. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Sorry it wasn't longer. I do hate that I only do 30-minute videos by myself, because, like, what is that? A podcast is something you want to listen to on your commute to work, which I guess for a lot of people would be 30 minutes. But, like, if you get stuck in traffic, then what? So yeah, be on the lookout, because I'm going to be having guests. I'm in discussions with a couple people. So yeah, we'll see where that takes us. But yeah, hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you next time. Bye.